Toni. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know, like, there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills, but I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding, finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she had fucked.
Okay, let me just say this. It's not often that I find myself agreeing with Tasha K, but this time I'm completely on her side because honestly, this relationship, it makes absolutely no sense. You're telling me that Toni Braxton, a full-blown icon, a living legend, actually went through with marrying Birdman only to turn around and file for divorce 2 days later? Now, that's a mess Toni shouldn't even be entertaining, and apparently Birdman's not exactly thrilled either. He's been dragging his feet about this marriage for over 6 years now while Toni patiently played her position, waiting for him to get it together, but when the time finally came, she made her move and secured the bag. Now, rumor has it Birdman's got to cut her a check out of that massive $160 million fortune of his. Phew, bet he didn't see that coming, especially after how he finessed Lil Wayne out of his money back in the day. But what really pushed Toni to file so fast? Well, first things first, these two go way back. Toni and Birdman have been friends, quote unquote, for close to 20 years. And let's be real, nobody's buying that they weren't a little more than just friends, okay?
Me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
Besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays. When I had my baby shower, he would come. Like, we were really friends.
Now, Toni swears up and down that they never crossed any lines before they started officially dating. Sure, we'll take her word for it. But here's the thing. Birdman is known for keeping his personal life locked down tight. So imagine everyone's shock when rumors started swirling back in 2016 that the two of them were actually an item and that they might have secretly eloped in 2017. Toni shot it down. Birdman did too. They both claimed they were just hanging out, keeping things cool, light, and casual. You know, the kind of situationship most people end up in when they're not trying to put a label on it.
What you was at the awards last night?
Yeah, I was out there
Working.
doing my thizzle.
And you were with Toni, which kind of felt like some sort of announcement.
I wouldn't look at it as an announcement. Not for me, on my behalf. You know, I just wanted to come. Me and T just went to the awards, check it out. So, what's the big deal?
It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because it's Birdman and Toni Braxton. And also because we don't see you like in a relationship. We talked about this last time when
I've always been off the radar because I think me personally, I always felt your personal life don't have nothing to do with conflict with your entertainment.
But then came a little blind item that practically confirmed the whispers. The blind item says, this former A-plus list aging singer comes from a singing family, dumped her longtime boyfriend because she had to take care of her family and pay up her massive debt. So instead of being with someone for love, she says now she has sold herself to the highest bidder, and the winner is a guy who was living on borrowed time life-wise because of all of the people gunning for him. Bam! Now, if that doesn't sound like Toni, I don't know what does. Remember, she filed for bankruptcy for the second time back in 2010 after lupus forced her to cancel her Vegas shows. She's been open about how much pressure she's felt to financially support her family, her sisters included, when things got tough. She's even talked about how being with Birdman gave her peace she hadn't felt in years. She said it's comforting to have someone tell you it's okay to be ill and that you don't have to be Wonder Woman at all times. Dealing with lupus is exhausting physically and emotionally. Toni often carried that weight, but with Birdman, she didn't have to pretend she was fine when she wasn't. I've always had issues dating because I was ashamed to have lupus and felt like no one would want to take care of a woman with lupus. I was insecure. With him, I can be comfortable with a little hat or scully on with some lipstick and mascara, but I can just let my hair down a little bit and it feels great.
No, 2016 November when I was on tour October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From
really
lupus?
sick. I had a really bad flare and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this is before anybody knew you guys.
We weren't anything. It was
like,
buddies. It was nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. He was there. I don't know if
he already loved you.
He's there every day taking care of you. But he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend T, you all right? You good? I'm cheering good. He was just there as my friend. I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of, it just made me see him differently.
And it seemed like Birdman felt the same way because when he finally popped the question, he didn't hold back. Toni proudly showed off that massive diamond ring after the proposal, and you could see that sparkle from a mile away. Birdman reportedly spent about $1 million on that rock just to hear her say yes. He even went on Wendy Williams and couldn't stop gushing about her, calling Toni his family.
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life. I love her to death.
But if these two were so head over heels, what stopped them from actually walking down the aisle? Toni shared that she was genuinely excited to give marriage another shot and told Wendy that they even came close to setting a date until some messy family drama popped up and threw the whole thing off.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values and we were going through a little drama. And I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of us sisters together. Yeah. But I couldn't get us all together. And I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
He calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni at all. That's my middle name, Toni Michelle.
From there, the wedding kept getting postponed again and again until it just disappeared off the radar completely. Funny thing is, Birdman was actually serious about making it official. It probably would have happened if everything had gone his way. What made this super confusing was when Toni revealed she lost her $1 million ring foil after supposedly leaving it in her luggage on a plane. Now, I don't know about you, but that story sounds a little too convenient. Either way, not long after that, both Toni and Birdman announced they were done. Of course, people started speculating that maybe they'd secretly tied the knot and just kept quiet about it, but Toni quickly shut those rumors down, saying they were never actually married. Then she posted that now famous photo of herself in a red dress captioned, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen." Now tell me that wasn't a little bit of shade. And while Toni tried to make the breakup look graceful, the truth behind the scenes sounded way messier. Word got around that Birdman hadn't exactly been faithful. Before Toni came into the picture, he'd been involved with Kimora Lee, and sources say he never truly cut her off. Even after Toni entered the scene, Birdman was still funding Kimora's lifestyle. He even went as far as calling her the love of his life and thanking her publicly for everything she'd done for him. So apparently Kimora was the love of his life, but Toni was family and his soldier? Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster right there. And that's where things really fell apart. Even after they reunited on stage during Toni's Atlanta concert, Kimora was reportedly still lurking in the background, with Birdman running to her whenever she snapped her fingers. The tea is Kimora didn't want to be seen dating publicly. She thought he wasn't the right look for her image in the fashion world. So when Toni and Birdman finally decided to get married last year, he was allegedly still chasing Kimora. Word on the street says he showed up late to his own wedding and left early, using the excuse that he needed to help someone. That someone, of course, was said to be Kimora Lee. And the wildest part, he never even apologized to Toni for dipping out of his own wedding. Now tell me, what is Toni doing caught up in a circus like this? A woman of her caliber playing these kinds of games with Birdman? That's not the move anyone expected from her. But Toni didn't plan to stick around for long. She stayed just long enough to make sure she walked away with a serious check. And then she filed for divorce. Reportedly, both of them signed the papers using only their initials, T, B, and B, W, and cited the marriage as irretrievably broken. Neither of them wanted the messy details getting out, and neither has denied that things are officially over. They've both ditched their wedding bands, wiped their social media clean of each other, and moved on like it never happened. And of course, the internet had a field day. Fans couldn't stop talking about how wild it was that Toni Braxton even entertained Birdman in the first place, though, hey, that divorce payout probably softened the blow a little. One person commented, Toni Braxton and Birdman being a couple was one of the most outlandish events we've ever witnessed. Fresh Jesus, another chimed in, I'ma have to keep pretending Toni the Braxton living legend didn't let Birdman up under her skirt. And someone else said, Toni Braxton filing a divorce 2 weeks after getting married to Birdman is crazy. LOL. So what do y'all think of this whole situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe because you don't want to miss the next round of tea we've got coming. See you in the next video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications because you don't want to miss the next hot story right here on Kayla Knows News.